What is up, everybody? This is Chris Badgett from LifterLMS. Happy Monday to you. I got a lot of feedback that many of you wanted some explanation on something that I posted last week, which was the course creators funnel. Um, I'm going to show that to you so that um, I'm going to show that to you so that I'm going to share my screen and then I'm going to talk through it with you for some examples. So let me just get my screen share going here. Awesome. So I hope you guys can see this. I'll be able to tell in just a second myself, but this is the online course creators funnel that I showed last week. So I'm going to give you an example and I'm going to walk through it. So the online course creator funnel, this isn't really like a complete funnel because this is actually kind of just the content funnel. It's not necessarily the marketing strategies that go into these different points. So I would correct myself and call this a course creator content funnel and education funnel. It's not really a marketing funnel because I would do different kind of marketing things to get people into the top of the funnel or talk about these various things at different points within the funnel. But this is a good overview and a good place to get started. What I wanted to do is give you all a way to make it less overwhelming to get started and get going. As you can see in this funnel, it all starts with one blog post. So if you're feeling a little overwhelmed, I would encourage you to write one blog post. It's a nice way to get started. Some of us are trying to go straight to the bottom and build a multi-instructor online school from the beginning, which you can do, but I would advise you to take it a little easier and take a more grassroots approach from, take it from the top of this image, if you will. So this is the online course creators content funnel. So I'm going to give you some examples of what this would look like if you were to implement this. There were some people in the LifterLMS Facebook group that wanted to see examples of this. They were excited about it and they wanted to see examples. So I'm going to talk through an example with you. First of all, as an example, I'm just going to do this theoretically of what it would look like. So let's assume that I was going to create a course. Let's do something way outside of online business or marketing or anything like that. I'm going to go over into the relationships category and do a course or membership site and all that in a relationships niche. And specifically, let's look at the parenting niche. So one of the things I'm interested in as a parent, I've got two young kids, is I take a very attached approach to parenting that I see, let's talk about the problem. There's a lot of kids out there that aren't necessarily super attached to adults or mentors. A lot of parents are feeling very overwhelmed and very busy with their lives, and that puts a lot of stress on the ability to have a strong attachment with the child. So let's say I was going to create an online course and really devote some years to a project of teaching to specifically fathers about an alternative way of approaching parenting and designing a life where you have like an attached relationship with your child, and you just kind of take control of the chaos that surrounds modern parents with all this like technology, demands on the time, cell phones in the hand, all this entertainment, everything going after everybody's eyeballs. It's a little intense, but it's still possible to have a great relationship with a child. So let's use that example as attachment parenting for first-time fathers. That's going to be our niche that we're going to talk through here. So the first thing I'm talking about is doing 5 blog posts. So what are some example blog posts that I would do in this niche? Well, I would do something about let's say, creating a non-toxic environment in your home. So getting chemicals out of the home is an important part of, developing a healthier relationship with your child. Let's talk about then, let's say 5 habits to create space to have more time with your kids. A lot of people are overwhelmed with, technology, being overscheduled, not being organized. I would write a blog post about that to, create the space for more opportunity to connect with the child. Then I would talk about, perhaps some developmental psychology that happens as the brain develops in the kids, and look at how, let's say, monkeys or chimpanzees, how attachment works in their world as primates, which is something that we can actually learn a lot from if we study it. Then let's say I wrote a blog post about getting control over parenting by becoming an entrepreneur. So if you want to control your time and you always feel like you're being pulled away from your family because of work, you can take a conscious approach to designing your own business so that, your family is at the center of your life, not your job. I could write about that. And one more, I would just talk about the problem of lack of elders in our society, that we do see in tribal communities, and how we treat our elders and the role that elders play in the child, and what happens when children become peer attached, attached to each other as opposed to attached to their parents. That's something I could write a blog post about. So I've just given you 5 blog posts that I could use in this funnel. Now it's time for me to create an email mini course or lead magnet for this funnel. So what I would do is I would create a lead magnet called 5 things you need to know before your first child is born, for fathers who want to, have an attached relationship with their children, or a quality relationship with their child, be engaged, whatever. I'm not going to like workshop the perfect name of the email campaign, but basically I would then create a series of 5 emails, 3 to 5 emails that would, be for fathers, parents about to have their first child, who are committed to, taking a more conscious, deliberate approach to parenting. 5 important things they need to know. So I would just structure these emails. They would be more structured than the 5 blog posts we just did. But let's say email 1 was about bracing for impact for the what's going to happen and how life's going to change once you have your first child, and just so you're mentally prepared for what's going to happen. How to prepare, I might give some top tips on preparing the body in email 2, for not the mother but for the father, because as any of you know, when you have kids, all of a sudden you're pulling energy from places you didn't even know you had. So if you prepare your body in certain ways, you'll be a lot stronger and have a lot more energy to work, take care, support the household, and have that energy to be attached to the child. Then email 3 would be about some mindset stuff. We might talk about, getting your head right for having a child. There's things you need to do to get ready and prepare mentally for what's going to come. or you could not prepare at all. And that's, not preparing is not necessarily a good strategy when you have a major life change coming. Um, and then let's say this group of people is really interested in starting their own business. I might have a little piece of content about how to come up with an idea for an entrepreneurial pursuit that would allow you to put parenting and family at the center as opposed to your job, and at least start working in that direction. So that's an example of an email mini course. So the email mini course that I just said was like 3 to 5 ways, things you need to know about to get ready for your first child being born, if you care about taking, this kind of conscious approach to parenting or having an attached relationship with your child, and that kind of thing. So then I would, go back into my blog posts that I had written. I would, put this call to action to sign up to join the email mini course at the bottom of each post, and so on. I'd also have a page on my website specifically for the free email mini course. Then I would put a free course on my website. Now, maybe I'll take one of the ideas that was in my email mini course and turn that into a free course on my website powered by LifterLMS with a free access plan. So let's say I was going to focus on preparing, first time fathers preparing their body for, the birth of the child. So let's say you have 9 months until the kid's coming, or roughly 7 months to prepare. And let's say you want to make a commitment to be strong and, develop your strength because you're going to need that extra energy. I might have a specific course that's focused on, 20 to 35-year-old men looking to really move the baseline of some key health markers up. And, that I would get into, I'd have a course about the basics. So, fixing hydration, fixing sleep, fixing nutrition, fixing potentially some of the mental stuff, like learning how to relax, developing some habits around, a healthier relationship with technology, getting into strength, getting into endurance, just some basics that I would cover in this free course for these fathers who are really interested in making a commitment to strength, taking care of their health. The best thing you can do for a child in many ways is take care of yourself and lead by example. And if you don't have your health right as a parent, it's really challenging. So making that commitment is important. So I'd have a free course, let's say, on, preparing your body and your health for the birth of your first child. Because there's, you've got like 6 to 7 months or whatever to prepare. There's a lot you can do to transform your health in that time period, which is really important if you want to have a strong relationship with your child. Next is a paid course. So let's say at the end of that physical health course, I would offer my first paid course. So now we're at the conversion point in the funnel where we're converting into, revenue. So let's say I pick one of the other topics that was in my email mini course series. Since we just talked about physical health, maybe I should transition into the mind health. So the paid course is all about the mindset for that first time parent. What are some things that you need to do mentally to prepare for that coming of the child? So maybe you would do things like in that paid course for, becoming mind strong, getting your mind right as a first time parent. There's certain ideas I could expose you to, like theoretically around how children learn, the role of parents in, let's say tribal societies, where there's a much stronger connection. Um, I could talk about, mindsets, just like bringing them out into the open from the subconscious around certain concepts and dangers around, especially paternity and how society is not necessarily structured to support that. So it's really fragile, that moment in time when a baby is born and they're looking to attach to their parents in the same way like a duck imprints on the, whatever's around when they're born. It's really important for the parents to be present during that initial, I mean, through all life, but during that initial period is really important. And if you understand how it works, how a baby attaches to a parent, you can just set yourself up for success. But you need to know ideas. You need to know about how, the attachment works, how the mirror neurons work, um, how babies like key into your voice and the environment and all that kind of stuff. You need to know some ideas around nutrition. You need to know some ideas around just setting yourself up for success in terms of, managing stress and planning around that period, especially of initial attachment in the first 6 weeks or so. It's very important. Uh, and you also need to be able to take care of yourself, because what a lot of people do when they have a child is they sacrifice their own health because it's all going into work and the baby or whatever. And that's not what I would recommend. I recommend also taking care of yourself. So you need to have some awareness around that issue and the competing interests for your time. But anyways, so just as an example, that paid course would be a that's my first course. And then I would transition to multiple courses. I would have my entrepreneurship course for first-time dads who are looking to start a home-based business, so that they can, put their family at the center, not the job, and also, kind of challenge that paradigm about the role of the male is to be the breadwinner, and parenting should be subservient to that. I believe in transcending and including that, like where you can make money and be a strong parent at the same time, regardless of whether you're a man or a woman. So maybe I'd have an entrepreneurship course. And then maybe I'd have another course about other relationships that surround becoming a parent, like relationship with your wife or your partner is obviously going to change a lot after a kid comes in. How your relationships with your friends change. So other courses like relationship stuff, and then other just how to set up your environment. So the environment, like where the actual quote village that we raise our little people in and ourselves and conduct our lives and run our businesses, is a big part of who we are. So let's have a course about creating an environment around you that supports these goals. So you can see I'm going to multiple courses. Each of these has their own price. So that, we have a free course, and then we have these multiple paid courses. And let's say within those, let's say we're using the Infinity Bundle and we're providing coaching and community as part of this offer for these type of parents, or want to be, these people who are trying to transform into these type of parents. So now that we have our initial funnel built out and our paid courses, multiple courses, now let's look at offering all those courses at once as part of a membership. So with LifterLMS, this is really easy. You can have a la carte course pricing, like one-off. I'm just interested in Chris's course about the mental game, or I'm just interested in Chris's course about, designing an environment that is optimal for attachment and, health and human connection. Or maybe I want them all. But if I want them all, now it's time to offer a membership through LifterLMS. So we have the Buy Everything membership. And maybe the members get some kind of extra thing too, like private one-on-one coaching calls. As an example, if we're using LifterLMS private areas and stuff like that. And then the next evolution beyond our multiple paid courses wrapped up in a membership is to have a multi-instructor online school. See, one of the great things about wisdom in this world is that, you know, we don't own it all. So if you really go deep and obsess on a topic, or, you know, just commit to a topic or serving a particular type of person, there are other people out there in the world that can add value to this conversation, to this community, to this movement. So maybe you want to start bringing in other instructors who also, you know, have course content, or let's say they publish books or something, and you're offering ability for them to create courses on your website or get more exposure for the course they already have by adding it to your website. You know, Lift Your LMS has a really powerful instructor and instructor's assistant feature. So you can have courses not just made by you. And this takes a lot of the pressure off too, where you don't necessarily have to be the guru of everything. And I'm also a strong believer in the power of what I call the council of elders. Around any given topic, rarely does one person have a monopoly on all the good ideas and skill in creating transformation in people. So if you are able to align yourself and your project with other leaders or elders in that space, you can build an even more powerful platform. So that's it. That is my just walkthrough of the you know, the online course creator funnel. So we went from 5 blog posts to an email mini course to a free course on our website to a paid course to multiple courses to a membership to bundle all the courses together to a multi-instructor online school. So that's what I call the online course creator funnel. It's also important to note that, like, if you stop at just one paid course, that's cool. Don't feel like you have to keep going to have multiple courses or membership or a multi-instructor online school. For a lot of people who are really focused on like one thing, just creating one course and making it better year after year is totally fine. You don't always have to expand into multiple courses or develop membership benefits beyond one course, but that option is there for you if you want to, you know, keep evolving or growing your platform. LifterLMS can scale from that, you know, single free course all the way up to a multi-instructor online school. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions on this, please leave a comment down below, and we will talk about that. But yeah, my name's Chris Badgett from LifterLMS. Thank you for checking out the online course creators funnel, and I hope you enjoyed my explanation on how you might apply that for your online course, your membership site, your online school. Have a great day.